On June 22, 2025, the United States launched one of its most decisive and precise airstrikes in recent history, targeting the core of Iran's secretive nuclear program. In a mission codenamed Operation Midnight Hammer, B-2 Spirit stealth bombers took off directly from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. Their targets, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, three fortified nuclear sites buried deep beneath Iranian soil. These strikes were not reckless. They were calculated, strategic, and necessary to halt a dangerous regime from crossing the line into nuclear weapons development. America had issued warnings. Diplomacy had been exhausted. Peace was on the table. Iran chose defiance. The United States responded with strength. Each bomber carried GBU-57AB massive ordnance penetrators, 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs capable of drilling through 200 feet of reinforced concrete. These are the most powerful non-nuclear weapons in our arsenal, and they were deployed with surgical precision. Fordow, buried under a mountain. Natanz, full of advanced centrifuges. Isfahan, a hub for nuclear research. All struck, all neutralized. Video footage shows the night sky erupting in fire. Explosions thundered into the early morning hours. Satellite imagery now reveals deep craters, collapsed tunnels, and obliterated bunkers. These weren't symbolic strikes, they were decisive blows. Iranian officials claimed the damage was minimal, but the truth is buried in rubble. Critical infrastructure is gone, enrichment facilities were vaporized, and the message was clear: if you threaten global security, there will be consequences. President Donald Trump addressed the nation shortly after, stating, "The facilities were completely destroyed. If Iran chooses peace, the path is open. But if they choose war, the response will be overwhelming."
Iran vowed retaliation, launching rockets toward Israel and fueling fears of a wider conflict. But America's message wasn't meant to provoke. It was to prevent. To prevent a nuclear Iran. To prevent a war that could engulf the region. And to prevent future threats to our allies and our homeland. World leaders reacted quickly. The UK and Germany backed the strike, calling it a necessary act of self-defense. Russia and China voiced opposition, but they also understand what just happened. The United States reminded the world that peace is protected not by words alone, but by strength, precision, and resolve. As the dust settles, US forces remain ready. Carriers have repositioned. Air defense systems in the region are active, and every potential adversary has taken notice. America can strike anywhere, anytime, without warning and without error. This was more than a show of force. It was a statement of principle. The United States does not seek endless war. We seek peace, but we will not allow tyrants to use diplomacy as a shield while building weapons of mass destruction in the dark. Let the world remember, peace through strength is not a slogan, it's a reality. Operation Midnight Hammer was swift, disciplined, and exact. No civilian targets, no cities bombed, just the heart of a nuclear threat, cut out before it could beat. Now the choice is Iran's. Step back from the edge and return to peace, or face a future of isolation and ruin. Because the United States doesn't bluff, and when we act, we do so with purpose, power, and precision. The world is watching, and so far, America is leading.
At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, and just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command Area of Responsibility launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles against key surface infrastructure targets at Isfahan. As the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace, the U.S. employed several deception tactics, including decoys, as the fourth and fifth generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. As the strike package approached Fordow and Natanz, the U.S. protection package employed high-speed suppression weapons to ensure safe passage of the strike package, with fighter assets employing preemptive suppressing fires against any potential Iranian surface-to-air threats. We are currently unaware of any shots fired at the U.S. strike package on the way in. At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 a.m. Iran time, the lead B-2 dropped two GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator weapons on the first of several aim points at Fordow. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well, with a total of 14 MOPs dropped against two nuclear target areas. All three Iranian nuclear infrastructure targets were struck between 6:40 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's about 2:10 in the morning local time in Iran, with the Tomahawk missiles being the last to strike at Isfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation. In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75 precision-guided weapons during this operation. This included, as the president stated last night, 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon. I know that battle damage is of great interest. Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all three sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction. More than 125 U.S. aircraft participated in this mission, including B-2 stealth bombers. Well prior to the strike, General Kurilla elevated force protection measures across the region, especially in Iraq, Syria, and the Gulf. Our forces remain on high alert and are fully postured to respond to any Iranian retaliation or proxy attacks, which would be an incredibly poor choice. We will defend ourselves. The safety of our service members and civilians remains our highest priority.